Today we'll assemble a base door cabinet with Cabinet Express Canada's Brian Simpson. First, open up the box and lay out all the pieces that you have. We're going to start with the End Gable. It doesn't matter which one you start with. Get your hardware package and open it up. Now we're going to take glue and put it in the dowel holes. This will help secure the dowels. Make sure you don't use too much glue. If you do use a little excess, you can wipe it with a damp cloth. Now we're going to take the dowels and insert them into the holes that we've glued. Moving on to the screws, it's always a good idea to hand start them before taking your power drill and drilling them in securely. Go around the cabinet piece and continue to secure the screws. And now we're going to move on to the next gable, repeating exactly the same steps, starting with glue in the dowel holes, inserting the dowels, and then moving on to the screws and securing them. Now grab the base cabinet with all the cam lock holes. The cam locks go to the outside of the cabinet. Again, we're going to add a little glue to the dowel holes as shown. Now let's insert the piece into the gable. As shown, make sure you don't force it, it should slide in easily. Note that the two channels on the right-hand side line up. Now we're going to put the cam locks into the bottom as shown. Sometimes there's a little bit of excess debris, you can just clear that out, and we're going to tighten each of the cam locks. Locate the toe kick piece with the cam locks in the center, as shown. Again, clearing out excess debris if necessary. Take a look at the cam lock and notice it's facing to the inside on this piece. Now we're going to add a little glue to the dowel holes and insert as shown. Again, don't force, just click into place. Tightening the cam lock down with your hand screwdriver, you don't want to over tighten. Moving on to the next piece, notice the finished edge on this piece as shown. The unfinished edge goes into the back of the cabinet, cam locks towards the bottom. Adding some more glue into the dowel holes and insert as shown. Moving on, adding a little glue and inserting as shown. The top plate also has a finished edge, as shown. Adding a little glue and inserting into the cabinet. The back piece has a channel in it, as shown. These unfinished pieces are back screw plates. We'll put those aside for later. Moving on to the cam locks. Insert them. If you need more space to work, just take out a piece, do so, and then put it back again. Putting in the cam lock once again and securing it. putting in the cam lock and securing it once again. And now we're going to move on to the next piece. It's the back piece. Let's add some glue. Put it into the cabinet and secure the cam lock once again. Let's move on to the two spreader pieces that we put aside, adding a little glue. The cam locks face backwards on these pieces. Glue and insert them. Repeat the same process on the next piece, adding a little glue and clicking into place. Tighten the cam locks down on these pieces. Now let's move on to the back panel. This should slide in easily if you've inserted all the other pieces correctly. Make sure that it is straight and seated. And shift the cabinet around as we continue on to the next part of the project. Putting a little glue into all the dowel holes. Now let's put the next piece in as shown. It should line up and click easily into place. Take your time, tap it if necessary. And let's now insert the cam locks. Let's move on to the drawer slides now that that's done. There's a left and a right side and they're different. Line them up. The first one that we're going to put in is on the bottom. Note how it lines up with the top hole that you will drill. Drill in place as shown. This is the bottom slide of the cabinet. This is a drawer bank for 3 drawers, so we're going to have 3 slides on each side. We're going to drill the first hole in the next slide. And it's important at this time to measure to make sure everything is straight. You can measure from the top of the cabinet. Now we're going to drill the first hole for the last slide. Finish drilling in the remaining screws. Make sure your measurements are straight. Hold in place and screw in the last of the screws for the slides. So there you have it, 3 slides on the one side. Now we're going to flip the cabinet over so we can insert the slides on the opposite side, and we're going to repeat all the steps. And now that all 3 slides are in, this is the assembled base cabinet. Now we're going to move on to the drawers. Starting with the drawers, put the glue in the notches as shown to help secure the pieces. Now let's put those pieces together, line them up, and tap them together. As you can see, by tapping, it ensures the drawer is even. Let's turn it over and put in a little more glue for the next side. And put the next piece in once again and tap into place until it's even. Once that's done, let's turn the piece around. And we're going to look at this piece. Notice one side is finished and one side is unfinished, a shiny and a non-shiny side. Put some extra glue into the track of this piece and let's just slide it in. That will form the base of the drawers. It should slip easily inside. Don't force. Let's put that aside and we're going to repeat all the same steps for the next 2 drawers. Now we're going to separate the drawer faces. This makes it easier to work with. Now we'll enlarge the holes with the drill. Let's add glue to both sides. Put a little bit of glue into the channel and insert the drawer front on the drawer. And this is how the drawer should look. Now we're going to move on to the drawer clips. You will see a channel which is the back part on these drawers. Now the clips will be placed on the left and the right of the drawer. Place them as shown. And now we're drilling a pilot hole in the corner first. This just makes it easier for later. This prevents it from possible cracking. And now we've completed this drawer. You should be able to put it into the main cabinet on the slides and test it out. The drawer will sit back a little until the face is actually put on. Moving on to the next drawer, we're going to put the clips in the corners and drill to secure once again. Remember, it is important to try and put a pilot hole in first. And done this drawer, you should hear the door clip in and out, and it should move freely. Let's move on to the last drawer. We're almost done. Again, we're going to remove the face. And once that's done, we will insert the two clips. Okay, now we're done the final drawer. That's it for the assembly of the base drawer cabinet.